Hey everybody, welcome to Lisa's Escapades. Today I'm playing a gig, and as soon as this gig is over, we're going in the swamp to do some spooky camping. So come with me and let's go check it out. So I'm all set up. I have a little throw blanket, but honestly it's so hot, I don't think I'm going to need it. And I've got 3 fans with me, so that should be enough to cool me off. And I made these locks to lock me in. So, yeah, and then I've got the curtains. I just gotta undo them, but not yet. And then my little ladder to get up in here. So I'm not gonna lie, it is crowded in there, but I do have the 3 fans. I have 2 lights up there. I have all my flashlights. I have a fire extinguisher. I have a carbon monoxide detector. So I got everything I really need. I got a battery pack to charge stuff. I got a laptop to watch movies. I got a book somewhere. So I gotta fine tune this. It's just too crowded, but this is good enough for tonight. So we're gonna see. I'm gonna put this trail camera up, and I've also got a recorder. I keep hearing stuff. Keep hearing something back here. Dang, I didn't bring my good microphone. Hopefully this one still works. So that's where I'm putting my recorder for the night. So I'm not eating tonight because I ate at my gig. They fed us afterwards. So I do have snacks in case I get hungry. There's no sense in since I just ate. But I think I'm going to go sit down over there and just listen. See if I hear anything. It's spooky out in the swamp when you're here by yourself. So I think I'm going to head into the truck and lay down and just listen. Tomorrow we'll probably go for a little hike, but I just wanted to come out here and test the camper out. There's a lot of things I still got to do. Still thinking about taking the mattress and make it a little narrow so that when I flip up the thing to store stuff underneath, it's not in the way. But we'll see. I really wish I could make it 3 inches shorter, but I can't because of the wheel well, unless I come down from the wheel well and then make it shorter. But I really don't want to mess with it because it turned out pretty good. So we'll see. Still fine-tuning it. So this is what I got going on. I got these curtains open because it's hot, but I do have a blanket over that one. I got multiple fans going, and I want to get some fairy lights for in here. It's hard to film in here because it's so small, but you get the gist of it. I'm going to watch a little Netflix that I downloaded and relax. Well, good morning, y'all. I made it through my first night. Just put up my curtains here. It was very comfortable up to about 5 or 6 hours. Then my back started hurting. I've had 7 back surgeries in my lifetime, and never have been comfortable in beds. I usually sleep in a recliner, so I might have to put a wedge or something in here. We'll see. But for the most part, I enjoyed it. I loved it, actually. Just in case you are wondering, I do brush my teeth. Good morning, y'all. I didn't get murdered. Last night, though, I had 2 hunters come in here on bicycles, and they were asking me if I had seen any turkeys, which I told them I did last week, but on the other side of the swamp. And he said they were looking for turkeys. They didn't have any weapons or anything because it was nighttime. They couldn't have done that any hunting anyway. But this morning, I noticed when I was getting out of my truck, I heard a few pew-pews going off, so they must have found their turkeys. Anyways, it was a pretty peaceful night. No problems. All by myself in the swamp. Now I have to have my morning pour-over coffee. I know I haven't been cooking on this trip, but it was so rushed because I had that gig last night, and then still not feeling great, still got a little bit of congestion. And I ate dinner at that place last night, so I do have snacks with me. I have some nuts, and I do have oatmeal. I just don't want oatmeal, so I think I'm just gonna make this coffee and eat some snacks today before I go home and go see what else we can see out here. I didn't hear much last night, but I did have my recorder out. I slept really good for like the first 5 hours. Really good. That bed is comfortable, except, you know, like I said, I've had 7 back surgeries. After a while, it hurts me to lay flat or on my side, so I'll have to figure out why that is. There's something to do with right where my spine's fused and where it's not. I know I have other issues there, but they're not going to fix those. They're not that bad. But, you know, I can still walk and I can still move, so that's a good thing. And a jalapeno beef stick. And I hear a woodpecker over there. Hear it? I noticed last night that my tailgate is not aligned right, so I'm going to have to fix that. That's not a big deal. It can be fixed. But see, these are the things I wanted to test out, so now I know there's that gap where mosquitoes could get in. Luckily, they didn't last night. But I am going to make some adjustments. Something just jumped out into that tree over there. Let's see what it is. There's a lot of wildlife out here. It's so peaceful. I actually have a little bit of a cell signal out here. So I'm on the inside of the truck looking out towards the back gate, and this side looks okay. But this side has a huge gap. And that's not from the topper. I just heard a deer screaming. Of course the camera wasn't running. The other thing great about this toilet is it Also comes in handy as a trash can. Came in handy last night, I know that. I didn't have to get out to go #1. So, as soon as I get out of here, I'll throw that away. Yeah, he's getting nervous I'm too close. Now he's looking at me. So cool. Wish I could zoom in closer, but this is as zoomed as I can get. A little closer. No. Something's banging over there. Hear it. So, a funny thing about this field right here is I had a dream one night about this field that a family of Bigfoots come walking out of the tree line, looked at me, smiled, waved, and just kept walking back into the tree line. And the dream was so vivid. It was so cool. It was as if they acknowledged me and said, "Hey, I know you're okay." And they just kept going. So this is an area that you can rarely get into because the gates are usually locked. The only way you can get here is to ride in on a bicycle or walk. So I'm going to take advantage of this and go check this area out. I have been back here with other researchers because there's some kind of questionable things going on around here. Like, for instance, that right there. That's arches that are tied down. Not sure, why that is. But there's an Indian mound back that way. But I want to go down here by the lake and see how it looks. It's kind of overgrown. But it's an interesting area. You can see the Indian mounds back in there. So pretty out. People drive back here, but you're not supposed to, so I'll just walk. You know, they say those are Indian mounds. I'm not really sure if they are, because there's like mounds of dirt all over this forest. But they could be, because they're big. I don't know what that is there. This would be a great place to camp. You see that hole there in the ground? I saw a water moccasin go in one of those one time. See, they're saying those are Indian mounds. I guess they could be, but I'm not really sure. Because like I said, there's dirt mounds everywhere, all over this forest. But these are large, so they could be. But this is what I wanted to show you. Is this cool lake. Look at that. I saw the biggest catfish in here or not catfish, bass in here one time. The water's pretty clear. What a beautiful area. That's limestone down there. Sometimes you can find agatized coral in them. It's nice to get in these areas that are closed all year round. Pretty much all year round. I tell you what, this would be a great place to get in shape, because all these roads that you don't have access to in a car, you always have access to them on a bicycle. And, you know, it would be a lot of mileage you could make. But it's so hot out here in the summer. But it'd still be good for you. This is called the gut drop, where they take all the animals that they've hunted and drop the guts and bones and grossness. Terrible. But it's got to be done. Hunting is essential, really, but the gut's gross. So if you ever wanted to know what death smells like, just walk into a gut drop. Nasty. But the reason I'm here is because there's trails going into the woods where something's feeding off of it. So it's not going to waste totally. Turkey feather. So my iPhone ran out of storage, so I'm gonna have to go home and fix that. So now we're on my GoPro. I was thinking about getting a new iPhone and keeping the old one to video with. That way I have a whole phone to video on and just use it for that only. I think other YouTubers do that, but I'm not sure. So, you might wonder why there's a driveway in the middle of the swamp. Well, I believe this is the Stewart Homestead. I think. And yeah, it is. The Stewarts were a husband and wife that lived out here. And I've told this story before, I've been here before. But I think it was in the 1800s or early 1900s. I can't remember the date. We'll see it up here on the graves. But they lived out here, and their grandson decided to come in with a friend and murder them in this cabin right here over money of all things. So they came in here, they walked into the swamp, murdered them. They did get caught, they did go to jail, but greed, that's what it is, all greed. But we'll look at the, let's look at the gravesite first so we can get a date. Okay, it's the Stewart Homestead. Okay, I was wrong. It was 1918. They were axe murdered together in their home by Sally's grandson Joshua Browning and his friend John Tucker. So, that's horrible. But yeah, they were one of the first people to live out here. There's a trail that goes through here too. I just see the blazes on the tree. But yeah, it's a shame. Maybe these are their original tombstones where people have left money and tokens. What a shame to do that to somebody, you know? Over money, of all things. Yeah, see, there's another blaze right there on that big tree. Not sure what trail that is. I don't think it's the Florida Trail, because I think that one's orange, but I could be wrong. But can you imagine living out here back then with no air conditioner? And the mosquitoes were probably rampant. It would be quite the ordeal. But let's go take a look at this cabin. Last time I was here, this was pretty much fallen down. It's even worse. That's been a few years ago. But yeah, they were murdered right in here. I can't remember the significance of this tree. I think they used it for something, but I think the grandsons were looking for the money in near it. I don't know, it's horrible. Look, somebody left flowers, that's nice. But yeah, it's just a simple cabin, not very big. And they came in here and just murdered them for their life savings. It's awful. Not much left of it now. Looks like they had a shelf or something there. Yep. Unfortunate. People are cruel. They can be cruel. And money? It's not worth it for money. Come on, I don't care how much money it is. Money doesn't buy you happiness. So, rest in peace, Stewarts. Can you imagine how horrifying that must have been? They're out here all alone and couldn't even scream for help. It's kind of neat how they put the tar paper down on the sides. It's a good idea. But this cabin is not going to be here much longer, I don't think. Because it's really getting bad. I know they've tried to take care of it, but eventually nature will take it. But look how squatchy this area looks. Wonder if they ever saw anything when they were out here. There used to be an outhouse. I don't see it anymore. It must have fell in. Looks like they had some fence posts there. This is definitely a trail. Look at the size of that tree. That tree was probably here when they were here. But that's a Florida Trail bench. So maybe that white blaze is a Florida Trail. Well, it's a sad, sad story. I can't get over these trees. Yeah, I really wonder what the Stewarts saw when they were living out here way back then. Sure, they saw a lot of wildlife. Boy, these bridges are narrow. That's the Florida Trail there. So I was talking to some guys today that showed up at my campground, and they were telling me that the bears are moving into the green swamp. They're having cubs out here and everything. And also that the Florida Panther, the males, they're moving north. So it's possible that the sighting my cousin had between Mobile and Pensacola could have been a panther, because he said it had a long tail. So I wouldn't doubt it. Well, there goes the Florida Trail again. The Florida Trail is in and out on this road. But it's been great out here, and this is probably going to be the end of my video. I know now what I need to do to my camper to make it right and more comfortable for me. And I'm definitely going to have to downsize the stuff that I bring, for sure. But yeah, I appreciate you all watching, and thanks for being here. Thanks for subscribing. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and subscribe. It's free. And I really appreciate you all. And until next time, I'll see you then.